So what's up guys, Super Legion King Bradley here, welcome to another episode of Road to Rank, where I climbed the online ladder and provided like commentaries ago. So in the previous episode we saw a really nice Bimbo deck, and in this episode we are basically changing our game plan and playing, as you can see, Bloodfang. So let's jump in the match. So Bloodfang is pretty much an undervalued hero in my opinion, and this particular build really gives Bloodfang an edge against a lot of decks in the current meta. So let's see the list and a brief explanation. So we have 4 Wolven Scout, of course, is basically a really nice 3-drop because it allows you to see the opposing hand and adjust your playings correctly. 3 Dead Wolf, which is really nice, especially with Halfang. And of course, really nice to take down those 1 health allies that are really ugly to deal with, like Rampant Krygon. 4 Voodoo Tactician together with the Herbie Monster is a really nice drop. And a couple of Sujo together with the Rat of the Forest are 2 draw engines and are really, especially nice. Of course, Sujo is also a 3/5 for 4. And for Griptooth to protect our big allies like Halfang, and 4 Riptide. So 4 Riptide is a really nice drop to 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 use with your ability, especially if you played a couple of Herbie monsters to destroy your opponent resources. Then your opponent drops the early game allies and you basically kill him with Riptide, and then you play a Griptooth to protect him. 4 Nevermind to deal with some those early drops and all those critters that drop 3 and sometimes are buffed, which are, for example, in best matchups where 3 drops becomes absolutely huge. 4 Blood Moon, of course, one of our main genes. 4 Herbie Monster, which is the star of the card. So this deck is basically a semi-resource destruction control with the Wolven Tactician, and a couple of Wolven Resilience to kill those ugly crippling blows and give +3 attack, which is of course really nice, and ambush. And a couple of Brat of the Forest to complete the draw engines together with the Blood of Moon and Sujo. So 40 cards deck, really slim, and let's see how it does. So I played this deck during this week, and I've noticed that this deck is absolutely strong, especially against control decks. So if you get a couple of Herbie monster, then you go for a couple of Wolven Tactician. Basically, your opponent has no way to deal with you. So there are some decks that might be annoying to deal with. So this deck is not completely consistent because you basically rely on drawing a couple of Herbie Monster and a couple of Wolven Tactician, of course. And yeah, probably this deck, if your opponent is able to get some resources together and play their control abilities, you're going to lose. But if his deck gets a nice start and starts drawing some cards and playing a couple of resource destruction, you're probably going to be in the right spot. So let's see, we're going against a control Zana, which is of course not a really nice matchup against us. And he is also going to start first. So let's see if playing the Bloodwind on turn 2 we're going to get the... Okay, we have the Rat of the Forest, of course I'm discarding 1. So Zana won't have the time to go for anything. So we have the Dread Wolf, and I don't know if this card is... So, going to use the Blood Moon. I hope to draw a Resource Destruction card. Let's see if we can get one. So he gets the Water Knight. Please, no, we get the Griptooth. We discard 1. We go for the Wolven Scout. He has the Tidal Wave, of course. We have an Halfang. So if you get the turn 4 Rat the Forest, probably is in trouble. So maybe this is the Bob Ross build, so he's probably going to retreat or Zalim my Wolven Scout. So yeah, this is nice. So we get the Tactician, but of course right now it is not our main drop. Probably I'm going to discard Glyptooth or not. Probably I'm going to discard the Riptide. So as I prefer going for the Bloodfang. So he doesn't have the yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, we have a couple of Driptooth. So with the Rat of the Forest, of course, we have a nice edge here. And if our opponent doesn't have a way to destroy our Rat of the Forest, we're probably going to take him down pretty fast. So now he's going to play the Confluence of Fate, of course. So let's see what he has in his hand right now. Yeah. So the following turn we're going to draw 4 cards. Of course he's forced to play the Tidal Wave right now. And the following turn we are basically regaining our board with playing a couple of 3-drop probably. Even if we discarded a lot of 3-drops here, he's absolutely going to attack 2 times against my Rat of the Forest and then Tidal Wave. So maybe if we got a resource destruction card, we could have a nice hedge there. But your opponent, I'm forcing my opponent to starve out of cards there. He only has a couple of cards in hand, and one is the Confluence of Fate. So yeah, Tidal Wave here. I'm drawing a lot of cards. So yeah, this is absolutely nice. So I'm discarding this. Okay, I'm taking down his resources. And the following turn we are gonna see probably a Sujou plus a Herbie monster there. So he's playing the Confluence. Devoted Knight. So we have an Bloodfang there. But we don't have another drop. So we're probably going to play the Riptide. He gains, of course, another resource. And yeah, we're going pretty nice. If he doesn't draw something really ugly, we are probably have the edge. Depends. Even if he's drawing another Tidal Wave, we have a couple of big creatures there. Right now, Herbie monster is not helping. So I don't want him to get to 8 resources and Tidal Wave plus Focused Prayer my Rat of the Forest. So he's going for the Sorcerer of India and Spirit of Devotion to draw a couple of cards. So we have the Navigator Mine, which is quite decent. So we have another Riptide. We attack this one. So I'm going to play the Sujou. Yes, I'm doing. So even if it other ways, for now I'll drop 3 cards and I quickly recover my lost board. And let's see if we can get... I bet Santas. And probably Tidal Waves at this point. If he has one. So this Dread Wolf is becoming absolutely huge. So he's going to banish who? Probably the Red Wolf. Riptide, why? Why are you going to banish Riptide? So she's healing. So I'm going to Herbie Monster another time. Wow, this is nice. Woven Tactician. I'm playing Woven Tactician and go for the attack. Of course I didn't play the 3-drop because if it otherwise the following turn I can Bloodfang, play the Wolven Scout and then Gliptooth. So right now he just has to Tidal Wave basically. Divine Connection. Heal. Wow, he doesn't have the Tidal Wave. This is huge. Of course, retreat this. First we play the Wolven Scout, if he doesn't have the Tidal Wave. Wow! Focused Prayer plus Tidal Wave might be absolutely nice, but of course we have our Wolven Tactician, so I'm probably going to overextend there, because he has to draw that. And even if my board dies, he can't do much. So my opponent, even if he top decks a Tidal Wave, he can't Tidal Wave plus Focused Prayer, which allows me to draw a lot of cards. So I hope he didn't top deck the Tidal Wave. If he didn't top deck the Tidal Wave, we have won. Yes, nice. So our first matchup against a control deck, pretty nice, especially if you get the Wrath of the Forest on the board and your opponent has no way to both deal with the Wrath of the Forest and with your allies on the board. So let's jump in our second match. So of course we didn't pull out our really nice combo of resource destruction. So our opponent probably playing a Rush Lowest. I don't remember if this is that kind of lowest with those ugly homunculus, which is of course really strong. And yeah, Wolven Scout might be up first, really nice. Blood Moon, wow, yes, thanks. So of course we are going to keep the Wolven Tactician, which is the best card against him. If we can chain and get another Cinderborn Fatebreaker. So yeah, Cinderborn is an homunculus, of course. Let's see what he has. Fireball. He also has a Transmogrification, which is very strong against our Repide. So let's see what we can get here. Add on the Brave, but this is not enough. Repide, another one. Cancel. That was not the best move I did. And yeah, die. So we have a nice hand there. So even if my opponents want to bet Santa there, I might incur in some problems. And let's see what you can do this here. So what my opponent is doing is bet Santa. Nice. So we can basically Gliptooth. What you can do here. So Christopher Wilde. Wow, nice. Wow, 2 Christopher Wildes. So just face. Of course our Dreadwolf really coming clutch here. Wow, 2 fireballs. So yeah, our opponent pretty angry there. So let's see, we might have a nice hedge in this matchup if we drop a couple of Wolven Tactician and he starves out of cards. Let's see if he is inclined to play his ability, or maybe going face with his Transmogrification on the Wolven Scout. Yeah, I'm probably playing another Dreadwolf. put some pressure. And let's see what he does. Of course, these two guys, he has to kill just two guys because they grow really fast if he doesn't have a response. And let's see, probably Christopher, and then Fireball. That's for sure. Face? Okay, so we are going... Oh, Herbie Monster. Yeah, of course, really nice card there. Nice. So this time I'm just going to play a well. Riptide taking down the Christopher Wilde, and then I'm attacking. Of course, he's not in a really nice spot with 4 resources and a 6/7, so he basically has to. He's forced to remove my Riptide. Probably he's going to play Supernova if he has one. So 6/7, not really the best thing you want. So probably I shouldn't have used that. Yeah, Supernova. So he's getting quite a lot of damage there by Riptide. Sujo. So Wolven Tactician, which really puts him into a sticky spot. If he plays a 3-drop, I also have my Know Your Mind. Let's see what he has. Fireball, of course, against me. Yeah. So right now, buddy, you're dead. Because I do this, I attack you. Well, he might win if he has another 2 fireballs. Okay, we take down him. So yeah, pretty nice deck, of course. This Bloodfang really putting a lot of work. Golden Tactician, both with resource destruction and protectors and Riptides and Wrath of the Forest, really taking down my opponents there. So this deck seems quite a bit really strong, especially against sometimes against control decks. Not fully consistent because you must be lucky enough to draw some resource destruction in the early game, but if you get those resource destruction early game, and if you get a couple of Golden Tactician, your opponent is basically dead if he's going to play a control deck. And if he is going to play in an aggro deck, you're probably dealing with these creatures with Riptides and Know Your Minds. And when your opponent starve out of cards and you have plenty of Wolven plus a Wrath of the Forest, basically your opponent has nothing to do other than concede. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to put a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Bye!